one of those questions where there's lots of words, and it's a sort of investigation question. You have to be really careful with these ones. You have to work out what it wants you to do really carefully. And the way you do that is you read it really carefully. It says, there are 3 airports on an island. Okay, there's 3 airports on an island. Every day, each plane from each of the airports flies to each of the other airports. Okay? So we've got 3 airports. We've got airport 1, we've got airport 2, and we've got airport 3. Okay? In each of these airports there's a plane. I'm going to call it P. Plane 1, plane 2, plane 3. Okay, that's the information I've got from that question so far. There are 3 airports in Ireland, every day each plane from the airport. So they've got a plane in each airport. It then says, each plane flies to the other airports, because it can't fly to its own, it's already in its own, but it can fly to its other 2. So plane 1, every day, flies to airport 2 and airport 3. Plane 2 flies to airport 1 and airport 3, and so on. The question is, how many flights are there on each day? So what it wants you to do is use a really sensible way of working it out, and it even tells you the way that's the most sensible. It says use a diagram to make sense of the problem. And this is what they're testing. It's not that the maths is really difficult, because you're only going to add up a really low number. It's that it wants you to organise yourself to make it really clear. So I've helped a little bit here by putting the information that's important. They've helped by saying the word diagram. Okay. So let's think about this. We've got airport 1, airport 2, airport 3. Let's make this into a diagram. A1, A2, A3. Now I think I'm going to put my planes down here. Let me show you. Plane 1, plane 2, plane 3. Is that okay? Can we all see? And I'm going to make it into a grid or a diagram. Like that. Ooh, it's quite slanty, but it's a diagram. So, what this now shows me is this box here means plane 1 going to airport 1. This box here means plane 1 going to airport 2. And this box here means plane 1 going to airport 3. And so on. Plane 2 to airport 1, plane 2 to airport 2, plane 2 to airport 3, and the same with the bottom line with plane 3. Okay? So the first thing I can do is, not all of some of these boxes aren't important. I've already said, we can't have plane 1 going to airport 1, because it belongs in airport 1, it's there already, so I'm just going to cross that box out. Doesn't matter. Plane 2, which one can't it fly to? It can't fly to airport 2. And plane 3, which one can't it fly to? Airport 3. Now if we think about the question says that the planes fly to the other airports every day. So on any given day, plane 1 flies to airport 2, and it flies to airport 3. So I can tick them. Plane 2 flies to airport 1, and airport 3, it can't fly there. So I tick them. And you've probably guessed, plane 3 can go to airport 1 and airport 2. That's my diagram. The question is, how many flights are there on each day? So now all I have to do is count up the ticks. So there's your mathematical bit. It's not really very tricky. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer is 6. There's 6 flights every day. Okay? But the question really didn't want you to find out, well, it didn't really care about the number 6. It cared about you being able to do this diagram. And the way that you do the diagram is you read all of this information very carefully and try and figure out the best way to lay it out. Alright? And that's how you do that objective.